This is happiness, to be everything at once. Be unblinded, be unlearned, be unbridled and unburned.
Hey everyone, welcome back to a brand new episode of Mood Prep. My name is Dave Nixon, and we're going to continue on with the Keanu Reeves bromance with some of his quotes, and I'll put another one here for you that I quite like. I mean, they're all quite interesting, and I wish I could sit down and actually ask him his meaning behind each one, and his experience. I think he's quite a thoughtful kind of guy. However, you get the best of the quote itself, and then what I have to give. So this one is, sometimes enemies are our best teachers. People can learn from their mistakes. Destruction sometimes means rebirth. There's three things in that we'll have a look at. I mean, the first part is sometimes our enemies are our best teachers. I mean, enemies is an interesting concept anyway, and especially in today's world, I suppose the term hater is kind of interesting. I see people being like, do it for the haters. I mean, even someone posted recently in my own gym, they wrote on the blackboard, the best type of success is revenge or something along those lines. But it's just moving all the way away from all of that. Hey, it's moving all the way away, because what happens, it becomes your focus, even with this idea of an enemy. Now, a society has only actually survived based off there's an enemy, something that we can band against. Hence why the idea that what could bring the world together was an alien invasion, because we would band as a whole globe against the alien. But we have one enemy rather than seeing each other as the enemy. Hence why in a small town it's north versus south, but when you go out of that small town, it's that small town versus another small town. Then when you go out of that district, it's that district of the small towns versus the other district of small towns. And then you go, it's state versus state, and then it's country versus country, etc. Hey, like, having an enemy allows us to have something to come up against, gives us purpose at the core of it. However, sometimes enemies are the best teachers. So a teacher presupposes a student. Presupposes a learning space. And so what's crucial about that then is that we must see that there is a learning space. So in order to do that, we must be the student. So we would then go into any sort of environment where we may be up against an enemy as a student constantly. Now, we can still be a master. However, we should never, ever, ever lose this idea of being a student, because our haters, if you want to call them that, if that's what you want to do, sometimes they're not haters. Sometimes they're just people saying things that you don't want to hear. And you think they're negative, whereas really they're just seeing things that you don't want to see. Now, that's not always the case. Sometimes people are just projecting things that they're experiencing themselves, for sure. However, it's information. You can learn from your, inverted commas, haters. The fact that you may feel negative towards your, inverted commas, haters potentially tells you a lot about where you're at and what you think, right? It's like neglecting information as opposed to seeing information and seeing the use and the resourcefulness of it. It's really quite powerful. So the first thing there is, of course, enemies can be teachers, because we're always the student and they're giving us information that we may or may not see. Now, maybe sometimes it's the information is that they are projecting their values, beliefs, whatever it may be, insecurities or something along those lines. But hey, that's theirs. It's not ours. Now, it goes on to say people can learn from their mistakes. I think the biggest word there that's so most powerful is can. You learn from your mistakes. It's like, well, fuck, some people don't. And then that's okay. Maybe they don't. I mean, the universe is going to keep serving that lesson up for you until you learn from it. Hey, but we don't always learn from our mistakes, but we have the opportunity. This is why we're the student, right? We can learn, right, from their mistakes. And that, I mean, well, we can learn from other people's mistakes as well, but we get to learn from our own mistakes. And once again, look at the word mistake. It means that we had a missed opportunity. We took an opportunity and we missed. That's better than never taking the opportunity. It's a mistake. So I took it at least. Go again, right? And so the key thing here is that we can learn from every single mistake. And that's where often the winners don't learn, the losers do. They have the opportunity to, hey. And so the beauty in all of this, once again, is the presupposition that there's a student, hence learning, hence teacher, but we have to actually take on that learning. That learning is ours. I remember having a coach here as an employee years ago, and I said, look, your learning is not my responsibility, right? And she's like, I don't agree with that. And it's like, it doesn't matter that you don't agree with that. It's your learning. That's your responsibility. I'm responsible for providing you a learning environment, maybe, but I can't make you learn. That's you. And this is the same for everyone else as well. Like, it's our own responsibility. And when we take ownership of that, we fucking own it, and we can develop faster than anything else when we see that there's an opportunity for learning and expansion in every single moment. Destruction sometimes means rebirth. Now, in order for something to be born, something must die, right? Now, I'm talking about more identity more than anything as well. So destruction, usually when things have fallen apart, we have an opportunity to rebuild however the fuck we want to rebuild. We can get rid of the stuff that maybe no longer served us. Hey, and this is in so many different variations of the term. It could be in business, could be in career, it could be in relationship, it could be of our own identity, which, I mean, in itself is just a thought. So we can tear that down whenever we want to tear that down and recreate it whenever we want to recreate it, or even if we don't want to recreate it. But the key thing there is really the ability to understand that destruction sometimes, well, we can sometimes make it mean rebirth, right? But we, in order to have a new space of our life to evolve, a new us, the next level of us, if you want to think of it like that, we have to let the old shit die. It has to go. And sometimes that happens in a devastating fashion, right? Hence where you see people like fucking just really turn their life around after a really big life event that fucking shook them. It's the same thing. And so with this, it's really understanding that within destruction, there is always an opportunity to rise from the ashes. Hey, like a phoenix. We know the analogy. So, but we don't have to wait for destruction either. But I think what Keanu is pointing at here is that life will dish you up at destruction at some point. It doesn't mean that you're dying. It means that something can die off so that you can choose to be reborn again. And on that note, team, I am done. If you found this podcast beneficial, it would mean the world to me if you pass it on to someone else that you think would also find it beneficial. If you haven't already, that's it. Mood Prep Community on Facebook. Jump on. I'd love to see you in there. Otherwise, team, I'm out. Until tomorrow, peace and pizza. Kick today in the dick. Slay the dragon. I'll see you soon.
To be everything at once, be unblinded, be unlearned, be unbridled and unburned.